So I thought it'd never come to this. Just in the span of like a few months, like 10 to 15 TikTok videos been banned a few times. And the craziest part about that is I knew the whole time TikTok loves to censor. You know, they'll kick you off their platform if you're speaking too much truth. And I was already biting my tongue a little bit because I was trying to say enough without saying too much, and I still got kicked, which is crazy. So that's just not sustainable anymore. So we're moving over to Twitter, or as people, it's called X now. I don't want to call it X. I really would prefer to call it Twitter because X just sounds weird. And then Rumble, and maybe even Truth Social. I'm not sure about that yet. But anyways, these are the platforms we're using now. I don't have to worry about getting kicked off. I can get as in depth as I want to get, and I have a lot to show you guys. The main point of this video today is to show you how a certain group of people, as you can probably see by the title, the transgender and the drag community. Before I get into this, I'm going to say this is not to be a personal attack. The whole point I'm making is you guys don't realize you're being played by the elite class for money, power, and control. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Now, before I get too deep into it, one question I want to ask you guys just to have in the back of your head to think about. The transgender community loves to say that genitalia does not define sex. So the question I have back to that, I just want you guys to think about is, if genitalia doesn't determine your gender, how does removing it confirm your gender? Doesn't make sense. So the first point I want to make in this video is that as a Christian, it's our duty to not encourage sin. We're taught to love the sinner but hate the sin. And I don't want a lot of you guys to misinterpret the message I'm about to give out. I have no hate towards anybody in the community. But there is a deep issue that's stemming, and like it's just not getting talked about. It's not getting addressed, and it bothers me a lot. So we're just going to kind of get into that. And like I said, this is not to be taken as a personal attack. You guys need to realize how bad of a sin you're being led into. And like I said earlier, there is a reason why, and it's pretty evil. It's pretty twisted. But we're going to get into all that here in a second. So I think it's a lack of love that's kind of led up to this. I think that the term love is love, it's kind of a deflect almost, because it is not real, genuine love. Because what I'm noticing is, as there's like more and more and more being pushed of the LGBT stuff, it's like you're seeing more videos of these people just absolutely mentally ill or just miserable. And I'm not saying it as personal shots. I'm going to show you videos here in a second. Like there's just so many videos of people in the trans community like actually losing their mind. Like they can't have a civilized conversation. Like anything wrong happens, they immediately go to personal attacks, or like they'll bark at people, they'll spit on people. I've seen videos like that, they destroy property. And something else I'm going to get into, like it's being taught in classrooms to kids that are like, well, I mean, I don't have to say the age because they're literally kids. I mean, if you want to be gay as you get older, I mean, that's fine. That's your right. God gave us free will to kind of do what we want to do. But that's not something that should be forced on a kid. That's something that a kid shouldn't even be thinking about. To be completely honest, they really shouldn't be. If they grow up and as they get older, that's what they decide that they want to be, okay, good for them. They have every right to do that. But to force it on a kid, that is an innocent mind. You know, I'm going to quote some things out of the Bible here, and you guys do not realize how much fire you are playing with. You are playing with God when you force this on children. It's something that just doesn't get addressed enough. I think a lot of people are scared because they know the repercussions of attacking the community. And like I said, this is not an attack, but people are going to take it that way. But anyways, that's not the whole purpose of this. What I think real love is what God intended real love to be, and that is love between a man and a woman. You see, God created human emotions, and that's why that there's like this synthetic love, that I'll call it, that you see that these people in the LGBT community, they're pushing more and more and more to, I don't know, it's like spread this ideology. It's like at the point now where they're trying to pass it on to kids, where it's like they are actually forcing this on to children. And I think that's because like in every state you can get married if you're gay. I mean, that's been a federal law for about a decade now. So it's like you have every right to do whatever you want to do, but it's like things are getting more and more and more intense. And I think a lot of that is because like they're trying to fill a void, because like I said, it's like you have this synthetic love. It's not real. So I think the goal is to make themselves feel more normalized by seeing more people like them. But again, once you start going after the kids, and even high schoolers, I mean, when your brain is not fully developed and you're trying to force this onto them, that is absolutely a problem that needs addressed, and no one is standing up for that. As a believer in Christ, that is totally unacceptable, and I am not just going to sit here and act like that is okay. That is no hate to the community, but what you are doing is wrong, it's disgusting, it's evil, and that is just not going to fly. More people need to stand up to this. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So let's go back to 2012 in Colorado. A lot of you guys might have heard about the Bake the Cake court hearing. So basically, there was an owner of a cake shop, and there was a gay couple that came in, and they requested the owner to bake them a cake for their wedding. Now, the owner of the cake shop declined to bake the cake because of his religious belief. And honestly, that is completely okay, because when you own a business, you can turn down any customers you want. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of freedom in America. However, the gay couple sued this guy. On top of that, it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and this owner began to receive death threats. And before you make the claim, oh, this is so homophobic. No, it's not. That's ridiculous. This guy was a Christian man. He refused to make Halloween-themed cakes. He refused to make anti-American themed cakes. It's not like he just singled them out. It was against his belief. All of those things were against his belief. So guess what? He has the right to say no. Now in 2018, which was 6 years later, he ended up winning the lawsuit. But the whole point is, it was a 6-year process. It went to the Supreme Court. This guy was receiving death threats for just enacting his freedom. I mean, he did nothing wrong to the gay people. I mean, seriously, he refused to bake them a cake. You have the right to do that. Well, guess what? If there's an owner of a bake shop that's gay, they have every right to refuse to give service to a straight couple getting married. I mean, we don't throw tantrums about it. You want to know why? Because we understand that's your right. You can do what you want to do. I mean, seriously, what happened to equality? Like, is this loving and tolerant and accepting like the community claims to be? If it was, they would have just accepted it and said, okay, I respect that. I'll go to a place that does accept my business. No big deal. But anyways, that was just the very beginning of how things would progress. The main point I'm trying to make is how this is really being pushed on children now. In schools, you're seeing books, especially in big cities. You're seeing books like encouraging being gay, being transgender, even talking about gay sex. It's being pushed on children. Like, I am talking like sometimes these are kindergartners. Like, that is evil. That is sick. If you are in support of that, you have a mental illness. Like that, this is not a political debate. This is a moral versus immoral debate. This is a good versus evil debate. If you are on the side of sexualizing children, sexualizing their minds at that young of an age, you are a sick human being. Like, and this is not up for debate, in my opinion. You can argue with a wall. That is a disgusting ideology, and I don't care. I will say it. I know a lot of people will not say it because they're afraid of the repercussions, but I am here to tell you the truth. That is a sick ideology. We're also seeing like pride flags being placed in schools in front of the American flags, which is insane, because the whole reason you're even able to have that freedom is because of how our country was founded. I mean, we had so many thousands of people die for your freedom, for you to turn around and just completely disrespect the country like that. Like, okay, like I said, if you want to be gay, cool, that's fine. But to act like it, you put it over your own country is insane. This country is one of the few countries left that will actually let you do whatever you want when it comes to gay rights. And a lot of places, especially Middle East, you will get publicly persecuted for being gay. So it's a huge slap in the face. So it's like, what more do you want our country to do? And like I said, 10 years ago, the equal rights, it's been a thing. Like, I will say, yeah, of course, it wasn't a thing at one point, but it's been a thing for a decade. We're at the point now where this ideology is getting pushed into the schools and on children. That's insane. Like, that is actually insane. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, actually, you guys need to hit the brakes, because like, this is nuts. And we're going to get into it soon, but you are playing with God when you do this. And when you're playing with God, you are playing with fire. I'm going to show you some Bible verses, and like, you do not realize how much you are risking for your eternity. But I don't want to go on too much of a rant yet. I want to show you guys some clips I put together because I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, oh, this is just a homophobic rant. Absolutely not. There are lots of videos of this happening. I am not just here blabbling to blabble about whatever. No. Let's just watch some videos, okay? How about that?
Middle school. I'm a 6th grader. I was in the library, and this book was on a stand. I'd like to read you a page. My back over my hips as I ask if we should take our clothes off. And he's saying yes before I finish my sentence. He's pulling off my t-shirt, laughing when I can't undo his shirt buttons. He's undoing my belt. I'm reaching into his bedside drawer for a condom. We're kissing. Again, we're rolling over. Obviously, you can see where this is going.
Yeah, so this is just one video. We have a lot more coming. Seriously, do you see the age of that kid? How young he was? Like, if you think that this is what we should be pushing on kids, you are a sick human being. I do not care. And people in the Christian community, or even just good moral people, please get a backbone and stand up. Like, seriously, what are we doing? We're really just going to let this happen? Like, are you kidding me? This is sick, but there's more.
Before my 2-minute starts, I want to give any parent with a child in the chamber to remove them if they would choose to do so. No, start 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I'm sorry. Can you?
First of all, before this even plays, isn't that insane? They know exactly what this woman came to this conference for because they know what they're doing is evil. They start the clock. This woman literally is giving people a chance to leave because she's about to read some things out of this book that are not appropriate at all, but they were found in the school's library. And they start the clock because they want her to just shut up, stay silent, do nothing about it. I respect this mom big time, but if you guys can't see through this freaking propaganda, it's insane. It's
not until it's reset to 2 minutes.
Your time has begun.
No, reset it to 2 minutes. Alrighty, this book is Gay by Juno Dawson was found in a 7th grade classroom at Collinswood Middle School. It was also on the ELA recommended reading list for 7th graders at J.M. Robinson. I'm going to read from chapter 9, The Ins and Outs of Gay Sex, starting at page 201, part 1, Boy on Boy Sex. Perhaps the most important skill you will master as a gay or bi man is a timeless classic, the hand job. Good news is you can practice it on yourself. The bad news is each guy has become very used to his own way of getting himself off. Learning how to find a partner's personal style can take ages, but it can be very rewarding when you do. Something they don't teach you in school is that in order to be able to come at all, you or your partner may need to finish off with a handy. A lot of people find it hard to come through other types of sex. That is fine and certainly not something you have to apologize for. A good handy is all about the wrist action. Rub the head of his cock back and forth with your hand. Try different speeds and pressures until he responds positively. A bad handy is grasping a penis and shaking it like a ketchup bottle. Finally, my misunderstanding about rubbing two peens together wasn't far off the mark. Rubbing them together in one hand feels awesome. Mega combo handy, trademark pending. It's no wonder that 92% of CMS graduating seniors aren't college or career ready when you're instructing them on how to give blowjobs and handies instead of teaching them how to add and subtract. Superintendent, you stated this book was, quote, brought into the classroom by a teacher with no intent to allow students access. Any teacher that puts material like this on his or her bookshelf is either a bad teacher or a pedophile who grooms children.
2 minutes are up. Thank you.
We will vote you out November 8th. You are not leaders.
I'm not on the ballot November 8th, but
insane. That is insane. We are not on the... That whole rant, everything that woman brought up, the response is, oh, you can't vote me out because I'm not on the ballot. Like, you see how protected that these people feel forcing this ideology on children? How are you okay with just sitting back and letting this happen? I mean, seriously, you realize that this is maybe a couple percent of the population that is literally mentally ill trying to enforce this on us? Like, what? Why are we listening? Why are we entertaining? Why? Like, what are we doing as a society? seriously, why are we entertaining these evil thoughts? Do you see the audacity these people have? I mean, to children, they're literally talking about getting your penis sucked to children in the book. Like, are you kidding me? Like, man, if you're watching this or in support of this, seriously, you need help. Like, you actually need help. It's a disgusting ideology. A disgusting ideology. Like, I can't believe that this is real. I cannot believe that this is real.
I'm absolutely dying over what happened, and I have to tell you. So I'm an elementary school art teacher, and I was at Goodwill looking through the children's books, as I do, and I found this one. A Day in the Life of Marlon Bundo. And I just look for pictures, right? Because it's my kindergartners mostly that read these. And so I'm like, oh, cute little pictures, bunnies. Oh, adorable. Okay, so I decided, like, let's get it. Didn't think anything of it. This is as far as I looked. And just now I had one of my kindergartners who got here early flipping through the pages. And I start to read over his shoulders and I realize this is presented by John Oliver. So this is about these two bunnies who decide they want to get married. As you can see, hello, Phil and Dennis the Bugs, and Pumpernickel, who is a badger, and Scooter, who is a turtle, and Dill Prickle, who is a hedgehog, and Mr. Paws, who's a very good dog. Hello, all of you. We are getting married so we can hop together forever. Hooray! Because that is what friends say. But there's a government that says, wait, you can't get married because they're too...
Oh, yeah. Ha ha. So funny. So don't you just love how this teacher is just laughing it off? Oh, yeah, I accidentally gave my, I don't know what she said, third grader. Yeah, I accidentally gave my third grader a book, and uh-oh, they're talking about them being gay. Oh, ha ha, so funny, so fun. Like, you are the problem with this country. There's a lot of problems with this country, actually, so I'm not going to say you are the problem, but you are a problem in this country, actually. Like, what are you doing to these children? What are you doing to their minds? What were you doing when you were in third grade? Like, it's sick. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this because I don't know what else to say about this. This is sick. If you see this any other way, I mean, I don't care. Argue with a wall, please. I mean, the fact you're just going to laugh about this, ha ha ha, just again.
Boy bunnies.
Insane.
So these two adorable little gay bunnies just want to get married, and everyone says, no, I am the stinkiest, and I am the important, I am the stinkiest, and I am in charge. Boy bunnies marry girl bunnies marry boy bunnies. This is the way it always has been. You are different, and different is bad.
And can you not see just how this is worded? Can you not see how they are trying to indoctrinate children? It's nuts.
So all of the animals decide to vote out the stink bug, not the stink bug. That's what they decide. We're voting for not the stink bug. And they yell at him, you are not in charge, and they kick him out.
Yep, the only people who have a fear of God. Let's make them terrible. Let's demonize them because, oh my, yeah, you guys need to realize this is a Satan agenda. Why this is being forced on children, I'll rip the bandage off and just say it. This is a Satan agenda. We will get more into that as this video goes on. But the indoctrination in this is disgusting. Anyways.
And then all of the little gay animals get to get married. First of all,
so funny.
It's a cat that marries them.
Yeah.
And she has her wife as a date. And then at the end they watch
society.
Wolf Blitzer. So I absolutely adore this book. It just made me laugh because I didn't expect it because
This should be worthy of you losing your teaching license. No questions asked. No questions asked. What you are doing to these children, you are permanently damaging their minds. I mean, you should never be allowed to teach again. In my opinion, this should be a borderline jail offense because you are doing some very inhumane things.
Only kind of skimmed it. But there we go. Love is forever. Stink bugs are temporary. Sometimes happy accidents just happen.
So funny. Like I said with the last video, these people feel so protected. Why? Because we've let that happen. I mean, insane. Where's our backbone as a society? Like, actually. Like, we're all okay with this? I mean, I'm not. I don't care. I will call this out. I don't care. I'm not scared of the rainbow.
Books in my third grade classroom with LGBTQ representation because representation matters.
Pride, the story of Harvey Milk and the rainbow flag, is a true story of how the rainbow flag came to be a symbol of the LGBTQ community and what it means to that community today. Julian is a mermaid and Pink is for boys are two stories that challenge gender stereotypes and encourage boys to be who they want to be and to not conform to what society tells them that they have to. A Family is a Family is a Family is a story about all kinds of...
Whoever wrote that might actually be dumb. A family is a family is a family. That is an illiterate sentence, and it's like, bruh, I can't. The title of the book is not even, it's, a family is a family is a that doesn't even make sense. Like, oh my goodness.
Different family structures and what it really means to be a part of a family.
That are falling for this.
Ho'onani Hula Warrior is a story of a non-binary person who challenges gender roles to kind of discover who they are on their journey to become a hula warrior. Let me know if you have any recommendations.
Let me know if you have any recommendations. Like, are you kidding? Like, again, feeling so comfortable. Yeah, I teach third graders. Let's see how many gay books I can get in the class. Should we teach them actual education? No. Let's teach them to be gay at third grade. I mean, yeah, I'll keep playing the video. I'm ranting.
A family can be made up in many different ways.
It's called SOGI, for Sexual Orientation and Gender Identification, a curriculum that teaches public school students across Canada to celebrate the homosexual lifestyle and that gender is fluid. In other words, your gender is not dependent on what parts you were born with, but rather what you feel like in the moment.
There's people that are boys, there's people that are girls. There are people whose gender might be a little bit of both, or might even be neither.
I mean, seriously, this woman is old enough to know what she is doing is wrong. I mean, you guys don't realize. You guys don't realize who you are playing with when you play with God. You guys do not realize the repercussions that come with that. I mean, you're going to find out the hard way. And there's going to have been people like us who were trying to tell you this whole time that you shunned. And you force this evil ideology down these children. And if you are responsible for letting a child grow up to be something that they were not supposed to be, we'll get into that later.
Lessons include books about transgender children, such as 10,000 Dresses, and songs like The Rainbow Song.
Gender won't decide the choices we make. Some boys like dressing up, some girls like...
Hi there, my name's Katie and I'm a non-binary teacher.
And this is my classroom library. And as you can see, it has a lot of books, but there's one big problem with it. None of them look or act or feel like me.
Oh, there we go. There we go. At least she was honest. None of these books act or feel like me. Yeah, I'm a teacher, but it's all about me. I'm a teacher. Am I going to educate my students? No, I'm going to make it about me. Let the children learn about me. Like mental illness. I mean, oh my goodness. Insane. How does she have a teaching license? Seriously, do teachers not have a curriculum they have to teach? Oh yeah, I just want them to be like me. Like, you're teaching third graders. How about you actually teach them what they're supposed to learn so they can grow up to be something in this country? I'm sorry, being gay is not an accomplishment. Okay, big whoop, you found out your sexual preference. Great. That's something that you should know. It's not something that should be celebrated. I mean, okay, now what are you going to do with your life? Oh, what I'm going to do with my life? I'm going to just spread this like a cancer and act like this is an accomplishment. You've done nothing. You've done absolutely nothing. Anyways, this woman's going to rant for me at the end.
So you can help by going to the link in my profile and donating to my donate project to get more LGBTQ plus friendly books in our school from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade. Thanks.
Girl, what even is an LGBTQ friendly book for kindergartners? What does that even mean? And what is with this sort of self-centered mindset that the books in your classroom need to somehow be a reflection of you or need to revolve around you? When you become an educator/teacher, you are there to educate. You are not there to insert yourself, your own ideology, your own sense of who you are into the classroom. If I went into a classroom for my future children and this was their teacher, out the next day.
Dub woman. We need more people like that. Have a backbone. These people are mentally ill and they are forcing their gay ideology. And even, I don't even want to say that because it's gotten so extreme. I was about to say, I don't even care as much if it's the gay ideology as the trans ideology, because the trans ideology is what is really toxic. But that sounds, I had to catch myself, because even forcing a gay ideology is terrible. But we are so corrupt as a society that I was about to say, we can let that pass. Let's take care of, no, I mean, that is where we're at. Like, that is actually where we're at. Like, this is crazy. Let's just listen to the mental ill people and act like this, none of this matters. And just so you know, there are many more videos like this that exist. So please, just one person in the comments, please hate, because I will tell you what, I will not stop. I'll bring up as many receipts as you want me to bring. I don't have to worry about getting banned anymore. So thank the Lord for free speech. My goodness, you people are nuts. What's also clear about this, at this point, just after watching a couple videos, if you can't come to the conclusion that there is a narrative being pushed on children, I don't know what to tell you. It's one thing that the teachers are doing it, but it's another thing that the school is letting it happen. The school is bringing these books into the libraries in some situations. You don't think that parents complain about their teacher, like some of those teachers, you don't think the parents are complaining about that? But the school, guess what? They're not getting fired. So what does that tell you? This is a deeper issue than just mentally ill people. The school is doing nothing about it. The school is ran by the state. Therefore, the state is doing nothing about it. Here, that's where things get a little interesting, huh? I wonder why. We're going to get into why. We will definitely get into why. What I want to do now is bring up a verse from the Bible. It's Matthew chapter 18, verse 6. It says, "If anyone causes one of these little ones to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea." So, in perspective, if you can't understand what millstone is, that is equivalent to saying you might as well put bowling balls around your neck or heavy weights around your neck and get dropped off in the ocean and just sink. That will be better for you than what your eternity is going to be for leading these young ones astray. That is what upsets me. You guys, like, you are just willingly laughing about it, walking into an eternity that is going to be absolute torments for you. Like I said, if you want to be gay as you get older, God gave us free will. You have every right to go ahead and do that. To force this ideology on children, I will say this again and again and again, I don't care. That is evil. That is absolutely evil. And your eternal life, you are going to burn. And I am not saying that as an insult. I am saying that because it's real. This is real. This whole product that you're pushing literally stems from Satan. If Satan is real, please tell me how God doesn't exist. And if you want to say Satan doesn't exist, you can clearly prove demons exist. So please tell me how demons exist when God doesn't exist. I mean, you don't even have to think hard about it. I mean, this is just insane. I can't believe I even have to have this conversation. Like, it's nuts. It's nuts. But we're going to have this conversation for sure. We're going to bring this conversation up as many times as I need to, because this is disgusting. I am not just going to comply and turn a blind eye and be like, oh, it's okay. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will never shut up. Never. But on top of that, it being pushed in the schools, you got your gay teachers, you got your gay books, you got your gay pride flags everywhere. They're also beginning to put it in TV shows, movies, cartoons. I mean, and it's one thing, again, if it's directed at adults, but it's not. That's already been a thing. It's directed at children now. And again, to prove that this isn't a personal attack, let's take the teachers out of it. The TV shows, the movies, the cartoons, like I said, those are funded by some very powerful and influential companies that are backed by BlackRock. We'll get into BlackRock in a second. this is an agenda being forced. And we are going to slowly trace it back to who is enforcing this agenda. And I am telling you, these people are evil people. Like I said at the beginning of the video, they are doing this for money, power, and control. And the Bible also tells us that money is the root of all evil. And it is clear as day to see why. Absolutely clear as day to see why. So in case you didn't know, a few years ago, I think it was during Gay Pride Month, actually, they made SpongeBob gay, which is insane. I'm not even going to play a video about that. I mean, it's common knowledge. Now, before I bring up other TV shows and all this stuff, I want to take a deep look at Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon, obviously the producer of SpongeBob. Let's just break down these words in Latin, okay? Watch this video with me. Let's spell Nickelodeon in Latin. What does it translate to? Oh, I don't care about God. Ooh, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, that is extremely interesting. Now, this is getting a little bit off topic, but to show you guys that they have subliminal messages hidden in their actual names. What everyone knows what Balenciaga is. Let's go ahead and let's see what Balenciaga in Latin will translate to in English. There's two things actually it translates to. Let's spell it like this in Latin. Okay, what's that? Baal is the king. One Google search will tell you Baal is the demon of child sacrifice. Child sacrifice. How are you not connecting the dots yet? They are, I mean, we'll make videos about the whole Balenciaga thing from a few years ago. Like I said, these people are evil people. It's not a conspiracy theory at this point. If it's one thing if you are uneducated because you haven't been presented with this information, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to present you with the information in case no one has told you about it. But to turn a blind eye and act like this is okay makes you just as bad. Okay, now as you can see, we spell it a little bit differently. What do we get? Do what you want. Where does that message come from? That message literally comes from Satan. Do what you want. I mean, I'm not even going to get into that. I'm getting off topic. But yeah, Baal is the king. Do what you want. I don't care about God. I mean, these are your companies, people. These are your companies that are influencing the youth. Anyways. This is Dino Ranch. This is on Disney.
T-Rexes have a nest too, but those aren't eggs. They're rocks.
It's not being forced on
children. That's why they want to be around other dinosaur nests. These dino daddies want eggs of their own.
Dino daddies.
They want a family. Aw, they'd be great dads. There must be something we can do to help them. There is.
And I'll pause this right here. I mean, parents, you need to monitor what your kids are watching. Because I know about 95% of the population does not support this at all. But you guys need to realize that you can't just let your kids sit down and pick out any TV show anymore. You have to make sure that they are not getting brainwashed. Because that is all this is. This is propaganda at its finest. This is indoctrination at its finest. I mean, we live in a corrupt society, and they are targeting the youth. I mean, it is not a conspiracy theory. I don't care. Argue with the wall. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's right in front of your face.
There must be something we can do to help them. There is. There are lots of eggs that need loving parents to raise them. And we have a T-Rex egg back in the hatchery that needs a home.
Disney really thought it was okay to address gender nonconformity in a kids show.
There we go.
I am so
Muppet
amazed.
On Disney.
Look at this clip and tell me your heart doesn't smile.
I'm going to tell you right now, my heart does not smile.
The most amazing princess.
I probably speak for about 90-95% of the population.
Behind was this.
Everyone, there's something I need to tell you. The princess who came to your ball tonight was me. I'm Gonzarella.
But Gonzo, why didn't Vu tell us?
Because you all expected me to look a certain way.
Here
I don't want you to be upset
indoctrination.
with me, but I don't want to do things just because that's the way they've always been done either.
Hey,
I want to be
you know
me.
what? When you're 18 plus, we won't be upset with you. Not at all. When you're 18 plus, if that's what you want to do, and you don't want to force it on the kids, no problem with that, okay? God gave you free will. You're still going to have a bad afterlife because you're going very against God, but you have the right to do that. But this is clearly a kid's show. That's why I have a problem.
Oh, Gonzo, we're sorry. It wasn't very nice of us to tell you what to wear to our ball.
You're our friend, and we love you any way you are.
The feels. I can't be the only one.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have feelings about that too, buddy. My goodness. This is, I can't be the only one. I mean, dude, can you please save it? Like, I'm holding myself. I'm trying to hold myself back from just going off because this kind of infuriates me. I mean, seriously, how does this not like? This is a poison to society. Absolutely.
Sorry, George.
Oh, I'm quite fine.
Craig at the Creek on
know.
Cartoon Network.
George? Hi, George.
Oh, hi. Secret keeper?
Yeah, and I have a secret I'd like to share. I like you, George.
Secret keeper? Would you like to hang out sometime?
Yeah, yes. Sure. Yes, I think.
Indoctrination.
Oh, I like your pinwheel.
This is Doc McStuffins on Disney.
Where are your moms?
Your moms.
It's the doll family.
Indoctrination.
Evie, Thea, and
Rainbow colors in the background. Rainbow anything.
hippo hold at any time. Here you go, Hallie.
Can I have a dragon life? I would be happy to take you for a... Yeah, on second thought, I don't want Dragonbot to feel bad.
You can have a ride if it's okay with your moms. Pretty please?
How can we say no to that?
Okay.
I mean, seriously. Let's just go ahead and infect every single popular kids TV show with this. Let's just go ahead. Oh, there's totally not an agenda being pushed. Totally not. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm definitely going to be making a part 2. Part 2, we're going to be taking a deeper look at all of this, like the strategy behind it, the funding behind it. It comes from BlackRock. It comes from Vanguard. It comes from Wall Street. It's absolutely insane. It's mind-boggling, actually. But I'm going to say that for part 2 because I've showed enough. The main thing I want you guys to take away from this is how it is not up for debate. This is an agenda that's being forced on kids. And like I said, if it was not being forced on kids, I wouldn't say anything. Once you're an adult, you can do what you want. That is not the argument that I'm trying to make. Do not take me out of context. You need to leave the kids alone. Like anyone in the LGBT whatever community, if you are going after kids, you belong in jail. And I will say that with my chest. You belong in jail. I mean, you're evil. Like, I'm sorry, I hate to tell you, but someone needs to tell you, you are evil if you're going after children. Children are innocent. Children are pure. Children do not need to learn about this. What you are doing to them, like I said at the beginning of the video, your love is not a real love because it is not what God intended love to be. It's a synthetic love, and you can't fill that void, so you're trying to make it more normalized. That is literally like a spread of a cancer. But anyways, we'll put that all aside. Thank you for listening, if you stayed tuned in for all this. We're going to get deeper into this part 2. This fires me up. And please, before I go, everyone in the Christian community, or even if you just have a moral compass, we all have a voice. We all have a platform. My goodness, people, get a backbone and stand up to this. Like, it is not political to say that you don't want your 5-year-old to be getting influenced by transgenders because there are actually 5-year-olds going through with the transgender surgery. We're going to get into that actually in the next video as well. There's actually a video of a 2-year-old that was transitioned by their mom. So, and that's where this is all getting to. Like, it is a poison. It is a mental illness. And to act like this is okay and doesn't need addressed is insane. Is absolutely insane. I am not going to stay silent about this. I am not going to shut up. I am not buyable, and I will say this just for the record. I'm not worried about anything yet, but I love myself. I would never kill myself. I would never harm myself in any ways, and I'm going to put that out there because these people are evil. I know this is only video number 1, so you guys might be like, oh, this kid's crazy. Just please stick with me. please stick with me, because my goodness, we are just at the absolute tip of the iceberg. There is a reason that I get so fired up about this, because this is just unacceptable. But for some reason, it's became acceptable. But we need to do better as a society. We need to put the foot down. We are listening to about 3%, maybe, it might not even be that, 3% of the population that is literally mentally, and it's not even all of them actually, it's like, if we were to get into like the mentally ill part of the population, it's probably under 1%, and we are cowering down to them as a society. Why? This is a poison. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. So I'll be back with a part 2. Part 2, we're going to dive even deeper into it. Thank you for listening.